everyone. Welcome to Reach Higher Riverside, where we share all Reach Higher stories happening across the nation. My name is Priscilla Grijalva, and I am your Reach Higher Riverside podcast host. On this episode, we have an interview with Anita Shirley. She is the assistant principal at Eleanor Roosevelt High School in Corona-Norco Unified School District. She was also just named the California Association of School Counselors Administrator of the Year for her amazing advocacy and support for the school counseling profession. On our next episode, we have an interview with Karen Lopez. She is the Common App Student and Family Engagement Associate, and she will be sharing about the chatbot and all the great work that they're doing at Common App. I hope you guys enjoy this episode. I'm so excited to share this interview with Anita Shirley. Hi, everyone. I'm with Anita Shirley, who is the assistant principal at Eleanor Roosevelt High School. If you could tell us a little bit about yourself and your background.
Sure. So, hi, everyone. Like Priscilla said, I am Anita Shirley, and I have been in education since 2003, but I have had a long love of working with students since I was a student myself. So I started out as a teacher in 2003 in Orange Unified, and I taught for 3 years. While I was teaching, I realized that I love students, but I didn't want to be in a classroom for the rest of my life. So I went back to school to get my counseling credential and went to pursue that degree. And after I completed that, I became an intervention counselor in the Corona-Norco Unified School District. I did that for a few years, and then I was an elementary counselor for 5 years. And then I went to the high school and was a high school counselor for about 3 years. And then my career prior to becoming an assistant principal in April was the coordinator of school counseling for Corona-Norco, and I was in that position for about 8 years. So I led the school counselors in Corona-Norco to where they're at today, and it has been a great joy doing that job. So I just love the school counseling profession and where I'm at right now also.
Yeah, and you're doing a great job. And just so everyone knows, Eleanor Roosevelt is in Eastville, California, which is located in Riverside County. And Anita was named the California Association of School Counselors Administrator of the Year for the whole state of California. The Administrator of the Year is a practicing school administrator who provides exceptional guidance and leadership and who is actively involved with achieving excellence in the area of student support, especially school counseling. Only one administrator in the whole state receives this award annually. Can you talk about what that moment meant for you to be named the Administrator of the Year?
Yeah, so I was actually at work here at Roosevelt when I got the phone call from Josh Godinez, one of my counselors here in Corona-Norco and CASC president, and I was shocked, and I didn't really realize how much it meant to me until I got that phone call, and I got really emotional about it. I had been in that position as coordinator for quite a while, and doing the work that I love, helping the school counselors. We only had, when I first started, about 45 school counselors, and now we're up to about 100 or so school counselors in the district. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, it has grown quite a bit, and it's just such an honor to be named Administrator of the Year. I honestly couldn't believe it. I know the person who nominated me, one of my counselors, Jenna Mendez, she and a few other people, Josh and Alexis, and some other people who had helped to write the application, obviously we're seeing something in me in the work that I was doing to help promote the school counselors. So it just means a lot to me that other people recognize the good work that I had been doing.
Yeah, and that's a big achievement for the whole state. Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
And speaking of Jenna Mendes, she's one of the foster youth, or she is the foster youth director for the district.
Yes.
And you are a foster youth mentor. Can you talk about that program?
Yes. So here at Eleanor Roosevelt, we have the most, besides one other district, the most foster students at one school concentrated. The city of Eastville is a community where there are extremely large homes. And so there are families who have foster students who live with them because there are homes with 4, 5, 6 bedrooms. And so they can have 2 students per bedroom. And so we have had in the past upwards of 70 to 80 foster students on our campus. This year, our numbers have declined. We believe it's because of COVID and they weren't necessarily placing as many students here. But our mentor program here, specifically at Roosevelt, is we have staff members, classified, certificated, anyone willing to and wanting to make a connection with our foster students, mentoring our foster students. And so they meet with them, get to know them as much as our foster students are wanting to open up with them. And we do activities with them. We do holiday activities with them. The one thing that I don't know if Priscilla knows about this, but we are a Golden Bell winner also for our foster program for the foster program here at Eleanor Roosevelt. So it's quite an achievement also. Jenna has done an amazing job with this, and we have a teacher. We have a class for our foster students. So we have quite a bit going on with our foster students here because we believe that it takes a village. The schools are here to support our students. They start quickly realizing that they are not alone, that there are other foster students here on campus that they can connect with and communicate with, and really just understanding that they are part of a community themselves. So we're really proud of the work and the mentor program that we have going on here.
Yeah, and it's an amazing program. They call it the All-Stars.
Yes.
So the other day I had a student in my office, and he was telling me how much he loved the program. And I was like, hey, do you know your school counselor? And I said so-and-so's name. And then he was like, yeah, she's an all-star, and I love her because she's always there for me. And it just like made my day because I was like, oh, like he loves this. Like,
yes,
that he feels supported and welcomed. So I love that. And maybe you can also talk about the Corona-Norco Unified School District School Counselor Mentee Mentor Program. Can you talk about that program and how it got started?
Yeah, so that was, again, when I was a coordinator. Because I had been in that position so long, and I spoke a few moments ago about how many school counselors we've been able to hire over the last couple of years, I was recognizing that as we were hiring new counselors, although school counselors come with internship experience, they're not necessarily totally prepared to be fully understand like the climate of the school that they're working with, the relationships that they need to navigate with administration, potentially even other school counselors. And so I had an idea. It took me a while to put it in place, but because I had been a teacher and administrator, I had gone through an induction program where you have 2 years of mentorship, and realized maybe this would be a really good idea for school counselors. And so last year, I was only able to get it started at second semester. Last year, I started a mentor-mentee program where I have veteran school counselors who are volunteering their time to mentor a new counselor. So our new counselors are paired with a veteran counselor, and the veteran counselor has committed to the mentor-mentee meeting that is one time a month. And then outside of that mentor-mentee meeting that is one time a month, they are at least communicating with their mentee one other time a month. They can communicate with them as often as they want. And I see that over the course of the year that the communication will rise because as they get to know each other. But that is kind of what the mentor is committing to. And during those meetings, my role as the program leader, for lack of better terms, is to bring forth, I kind of separate it into three different areas. So at the beginning of the meeting, we do an icebreaker. Then I have some type of training that happens. So last year I had a person from IT come actually 2 times to talk about our student information system, how to run reports. We have quite a few different programs that we can offer. And so I have like our CTE director come and talk. We have them interested in meeting district office personnel. Who do I go to if I have questions about this or that? So that's part of the meeting. And then, excuse me, the third part is mentor-mentee time. So they get to spend a good 20-25 minutes of the meeting in breakout rooms. It's done through Zoom, having a conversation with their mentor-mentee. One of the feedback areas that I got from last year was sometimes I don't know what to talk about. Even though they're counselors, sometimes they're like, I don't know how to start the conversation. So this year I've started guided questions during the mentor-mentee time. So during your mentor-mentee time, answer these 2 questions at least, or have a conversation about these 2 topics. One, a little bit more technical about how are things going at work, or do you have specific questions that your mentor can help you answer about this specific topic, and then maybe a fun topic like what's your favorite ice cream or something like that. So so that they get to know each other on a personal level, but also on kind of how can the mentor help them navigate the career that they have chosen.
Yeah, so then they feel more comfortable talking to them and opening up.
Yes.
I love that, because I think that school counselors need that across the country, and that's something they should start everywhere.
Yes, absolutely.
I've kind of seen it pop up in little places, and maybe it'll start to catch on everywhere.
That's my hope. Can I talk a little bit more about it?
Yeah.
So I'm in my doctoral program also, and that is what I'm researching about also is mentorship. And I'm hopeful to do my dissertation on really diving in and exploring an idea about how can this kind of get some feet behind it and maybe making it a thing. I don't know. We'll see what happens. So I think it's really good for our school counselors to have someone that they can go to.
Yeah, I think so too. I remember when I first became a school counselor, it was like you wanted to know the politics and like who to go to for what. So I think, and even things like the student areas system or the Q system, whatever they use, like you just need someone to reach out to. So I love that you do that, and I hope it starts everywhere else.
Yeah.
What was the biggest takeaway from the Mentee Mentor program?
So last year, at the end of the year, I think the piece that I found most exciting is that we had year 2 counselors who my year 2, it's not mandatory. This is all voluntary, but I'm hopeful that the mentees get something out of it that they want to continue into a year 2. But my year 2 people didn't need to continue, and all of them wanted to continue into a year 3 because they had only gotten about 5 months of mentor-mentee time with their mentor. So for me, that was really exciting to see that they knew that, gosh, I still have more to learn. I am connecting with my mentor, and I want to come back for more information because I feel like I have more to learn from this. So that for me was really exciting. And even we've had only 1 meeting this year, and the feedback, I do a pre-post, and the post test was like, yay, I get to like connect with people again and have conversations about counseling. So my counselors here are wanting that connection. They're wanting to have those conversations about just how are things going. Like it's not just needing to be so technical all the time. They just want somebody to connect with and have a conversation with.
Yeah, just like our students.
Yes.
I saw a tweet the other day that someone from Riverside County had tweeted that they just needed to check in on an adult and they just needed someone to talk to. So yes. I think that's so important. And I love that you're doing data to show like the results, the pre and the post, just like ASCA, right?
Yep.
Why is it important for you to be part of a community of school counselors working together for the benefit of all students?
Oh gosh. I think for me, I don't know who's listening to this, but I think most of us school counselors are school counselors for a reason, right? Mm-hmm. Either because we had a great school counselor or maybe we didn't get what we needed. And so for me, I think it was because I didn't get what I needed. And so, but that was back in the era of a guidance counselor, right? Yeah. I'm older. So for me, the community of school counselors working together is really important because I truly believe in this idea of we need to be doing the same thing for all of our students. Our students shouldn't walk. Our district is very large. We have 53,000 students, and we have 5 comprehensive high schools. So a student here, Eleanor, Roosevelt, should not be receiving anything different than a student that's 10 miles down the road at another high school. We should at least have some common assurances for our students. It is important for me that our students, because I know my own children, right? If they if they go to one of our high schools, which they will be at next year, I want my son to receive the same type of care that a student at a different high school would receive. And so for me, this community of building the common assurances, of building the wraparound, for lack of better terms, wrapping our arms around the students is really important because I want our students to know that our school counselors care about them, that we want a future for them, whatever that future is. So I just want them to have a plan. So if their plan is world of work, let's make that world of work happen for you. Mm-hmm. If their plan is Harvard, let's make Harvard work for you. The vast scheme in between those two areas is so large, but we need to make sure that we as school counselors and the community of school counselors make sure that they meet those goals. And we have the luxury in Corona-Norco to have elementary school counselors, mm-hmm. which most districts don't. And in my prior position, my elementary school counselors understood that the work that they were doing with them in elementary benefited them all through their life. It wasn't college and career doesn't just start in high school. You have to have those conversations starting in elementary school. And mm-hmm. so, and in intermediate school, it's this whole conversation throughout life. And so that's why the community is so important, because they understand the vertical alignment of the conversation about success and what it takes to have, kids be successful in life. So
yeah, absolutely. And then if they switch schools or when they get to high school, they understand the lingo, like this is what college is, yes. military.
Yes.
That's so important.
Yes.
And so we all take care of our students. That's a big part. I like to call my kids. I have a lot of kids.
Yep.
So what do you do to de-stress or refuel for the next day? How do you take care of yourself?
Oh gosh. I don't know how well I do that, especially now that I'm back at school too. But I do like to walk, and then I do a Pilates video every morning. So mine is exercise. I really feel like when I'm not in my exercising, then I can feel the stress starting to build. So for me, exercise is my stress relief, and then I really do like to spend time with my family. So I'm married and have 2 sons, and they're overly involved with athletics and a lot of different extracurriculars, basketball and football. And so watching them be involved with what they enjoy helps me also. And I do like to read, but now I'm just reading for school.
Yeah, to get your doctorate.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What is your greatest achievement, or what is your proudest moment so far?
Gosh. I don't know. I mean,
it can be personal or work.
Yeah, I know. If I say work, I think the administrative of the year for CASC is really, I'm really proud of that, because I feel like it's something that, although I received it. I don't feel like I was doing it I was never ever doing it for recognition. I was doing it because I love the students, but I loved the school counselors that I was working with also. I still call them my school counselors. They're not mine anymore, but they are, right? They're my people. They're my, I had really good relationships with my school counselors. And so that for me, I think honestly, although I was named this Administrator of the Year, like my proudest moment is that relationships that I've built over the last couple of years with I'm gonna tear up, with my counselors. Like they're my heart besides my family, right? I love my family, but when I was at work, I loved working with my people. So
yeah, I agree, and I could tell in your passion just working at Roosevelt how much you love the whole school counseling team. And we've got a huge team of 13 counselors. And I've just seen how you bring us all together and how you truly care about all of us individually and as a team. Yeah. So thank you for that. And what is something you think most people don't know about you?
Most people probably don't know that I have a twin sister. She doesn't live close by. She lives up in the Central Valley, but I have an identical twin. So most people don't know that I have an identical twin sister. So yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
You must miss her.
I do miss her, but we do talk almost every day. We're best friends, and she has 3 boys. I have 2 boys, and so we spend as much time together as we possibly can, but we still have a great relationship even though we don't get to see each other very often.
That's good.
Yeah.
What is something you are really good at?
Oh gosh. I think I was telling you earlier that I'm really good at people watching. I am really good at really trying to just watch and get a feel for a room. So I can walk into a room and just watch kind of the dynamics of what's going on and try to read a room or a campus, and just kind of sit back and watch what's going on. I feel like I'm pretty good at that. Yeah, that's kind of one of my strengths. That it's kind of one of those strengths that you don't know. It's not something you can write on a resume, if that makes sense.
It's something you can learn.
Yeah, it's not something you learn. I just, because of a twin, and I'm like the B twin. If you're a twin or you know about twins, you're the B twin. So the B twin is the one that kind of sits back. The A twin is the out in front. And so the B twin is the sit backer. That's not a word. But I think that through sitting back, throughout my life, I've learned to watch. And so that's something that I feel like I'm pretty good at.
And I think that's important.
Yeah.
Because it says a lot. You get to learn more about people.
Yes. Yeah.
If you could have one superpower, what would it be?
Oh gosh. I would want to be probably invisible. So I can watch maybe watch at a closer distance. Yeah, I would want to be invisible.
Okay. That's a good superpower to have.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you would like our listeners to know?
I think that who listens to this? That would be my question for you.
It's a variety of people all over the world, from educators, school counselors, administrators, teachers.
Nice. So I think that, our kids right now, I think for me, are needing a lot of love. And so the more that we can wrap our arms around them and really listen to their needs right now, I think can really benefit all of us. COVID has done a number on our students, and being at home for some of our kids was a beautiful thing, but being at home for some of our kids was not a great experience. And so we are seeing this year behaviors that we've never seen. We're seeing a lot of immaturity from our students. Our 9th graders acting like 7th graders, and I've talked with intermediate colleagues who are saying their 7th graders are acting like 5th graders. Similarly, kindergartners who can't read or write or don't know their letters yet because of the lack of education that they received last year by no fault of anyone. It's just what happened. And so the more that we can wrap our arms around them and really just support them, I think we can make strides, because I think that our students do want to engage. They do want to learn. I think they've just somewhat forgotten how for a little bit, and we just need to get them back in the mode of school. And what does school mean? How do you function in school?
Yeah, the basics.
Yeah, the basics of like, yes, you do need to go to class every day, all day.
Yeah.
So that would be what I want for our listeners, the listeners to hear.
Yeah, definitely a lot of lack of motivation going on with the kids.
Yeah.
At the end of our podcast, we like to do the Sunshine Spotlight. Can you tell me at least one thing that's made you happy this week?
Oh gosh, today we got to have cookies for breakfast.
Yes, we did, as a counseling team.
As a counseling team, so that makes me happy.
Yeah, and it was a fun celebration with
Yes.
our whole team coming together.
Yeah.
For me personally, I was just telling one of my colleagues like how much I love having you as an administrator. So I have been a school counselor. I'm starting my 17th year. And I've had several administrators over my career, and definitely you are one of my favorites.
Oh, thank you.
So thank you for all you do for our kids and our staff and our community. If you could just say goodbye to all our listeners out there.
Goodbye, listeners.
Thank you. Thank you for tuning in to Reach Higher Riverside. You can follow us on Twitter at RH Riverside. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel at Reach Higher Riverside. You can also subscribe to our iTunes or Google Play Music and give us a rating. Thank you so much for listening in. We appreciate all of you tuning in. And as Michelle Obama would say, when they go low, we reach higher.